Good morning, friends. How's it going? I hope that you are doing so awesome on this Tuesday morning. I am so grateful to be here to talk to you a little bit about consistency and help you create a targeted, specific game plan to be more consistent this December than you've ever been, even with all of the craziness that the holiday brings. So super, super excited. I want to get started just in case we have some new folks watching by introducing myself. My name is Catherine Edgecombe, and I am a restriction recovery coach. I help women start to eat normally and take control of their eating by actually embracing their restrictive habits. So instead of fighting the things that have made you less consistent, the things that have made you restrict or overeat or binge, I teach you how to use those to your advantage so that you can stay more consistent. So I wanted to put together some awesome content for you to help you be more consistent this holiday season. And really, to be honest with you, this Kickstart is something that you will be able to use no matter what. It doesn't matter if you're watching this next March or if you're watching it here with me live. You will be able to use this information to get yourself to be more consistent any time of the year. I am going to be teaching you the 3 elements to staying consistent with healthy eating and exercise over the next couple of days. So, to take a step back, the Holiday Consistency Kickstart is all about teaching you what really matters to being consistent. Each day, today through Friday, we're going to be going through one of the most common consistency kickers. And consistency kickers are the mistakes that we're making that are keeping us from staying consistent long term. Each day, we're going to go through one of those. The outline is on the website that's linked in this video. But each day we're going to go through one of those kickers. We're going to talk about how to get around it. And then I am going to give you some homework to do on your own to help you implement what we're talking about in this video. So each day we're going live at 8 a.m. We're going to talk about this consistency kicker. And then I'm going to send you a workbook to go through, ask yourself some questions, process the information that you've learned, as well as figure out how to implement it in your own life. So these workbooks are fantastic. I am giving you so much to work through, so many questions that you're going to want to ask yourself. So go and grab your workbook if you haven't already, because I want to make sure that you have all of this information. Sorry, Juno's in here with me, and apparently she has some itchies. I want you to have all of this information so that this is not just a video series that you watch. This is something that you take and implement in your own life. My goal is to help you create that customized consistency blueprint for you so that you are going to be able to get through December without falling off the wagon, without beating yourself up. And that is the goal of this Kickstart. By the end of this week, you will have a blueprint that addresses nutrition, fitness, and mindset so that you can go through December nice and consistently so you don't need to start over on January 1st. So I am so incredibly excited to do this. I just put together all of this content. I put it together last night. I did all of these outlines, and I went through and created the workbooks for these live trainings, and I cannot wait for you to get access to them. So go grab your copy. You're going to want to go through this, and at the end, I'm going to tell you exactly what I want you to do. So how's it going? Is this good stuff? I want to hear from you. I want to hear what your biggest takeaway is from this video. And today, as I mentioned, we are talking all about nutrition. So we are going to be talking about this first element of consistency, which is nutrition. And to be honest with you, when people tell me that they want to stay consistent, what I find is that they're really talking about nutrition. They're talking to me about their ability to stay on plan, stay on track with their eating, no matter what happens. And this is one of the biggest components, because I think what happens is we have this idea of what consistency should be, what it should feel like. And when we don't measure up, we start to get really, really down on ourselves. And this does perpetuate inconsistency, doesn't it? Because when we feel down, when we're not feeling confident, it just continues. And it's a lot easier for us to stay stuck in that inconsistent cycle. So the first thing that we're going to be considering is nutrition. And honestly, nutrition is really personalized. It's really nuanced. And with my clients, the way that I approach it more than anything else is as an experiment. Because I can coach women from all around the world, but I can also tell you that none of their specific nutrition programs or plans have been exactly the same. Every single person has a very personalized approach, and that's because we have different preferences, we have different triggers, we have different kind of restrictive habits that we need to learn to embrace. So it becomes really, really important that we customize guidance to be specific to you and your situation. And that is one of the things that I try to do with the workbook. So I try to show you and teach you a couple of different questions, a couple of different ways that you can make this work for you. I hope that that makes sense. Consistency is a huge topic. I put together an entire quiz, which I should actually link up in the workbook so I can make sure that you have access to that quiz as well, to help you unpack from a nutrition standpoint what your number one obstacle to consistency is. For the purpose of this live, I want to talk about the one that I think is most prevalent with women over the course of the holidays. And that consistency kicker is knowing what truly matters. For so many of us, especially when it's the holidays, we are trying to do it all. We have crazy schedules. We have so many holiday parties, dinners. We're getting together with friends. We have happy hours. There's work parties and there's cookies and cake everywhere. But we're also simultaneously trying to eat X number of calories per day, crush this many grams of carbohydrates, and just do everything. So when we're trying to do absolutely everything, we will fail. I'm going to say that again. When we try to do absolutely everything that matters to good nutrition, we will fail. This is because our brains need to focus on a specific task. We have to get it down, make it second nature before we can start attacking something different. This is why taking a much more habit-based approach can be helpful, because what we want is to feel like eating consistently is effortless. But for as long as you try to do absolutely everything that you're hearing is important to nutrition, it's never going to feel effortless. It is going to feel really, really tough. And what happens is if you're trying to get half your body weight in ounces of water, eat more slowly, get plenty of protein, eat vegetables, watch your carbohydrate intake, only drink twice a week, that is just too much. It becomes overwhelming. We slip up on one element, and then we feel like we failed. When we feel like we fail, we get really, really down, and we have a much harder time getting back on track. So, in order to beat this consistency kicker of overwhelm, of knowing exactly what matters, it's super important to know where to focus your energy. Now, I could give you general recommendations about what works well with women's hormones, with women's nutrition, and I'm happy to do that. I'll give you a couple examples of things you could focus on. But the most important thing is figuring out your specific focus area and making a plan to stick with it. You need to stop trying to do everything and instead focus on doing just one thing. When one of my incredible clients, Jen, came to me, she had a really, really rough time staying consistent with her nutrition. She would follow a really strict plan, she would see results, and then she would go back to her everyday life and kind of have a hard time doing anything close to consistent. And that was because she was trying to do absolutely everything. She was trying to follow the 21-day fix, raise her toddler, work full-time, manage a house, do all of those things. When we were able to help her focus on just one component, for her, the big focus was on prepping and planning for her meals throughout the week, making sure that she had a couple of healthy dinner options, that she had a couple of items that were left over that she could take for lunch. By simply adding that one element, not worrying about water, not worrying about getting too much sugar, not worrying about every other little component, she was able to lose, I think it was 4 pounds in the first week. It's not sexy, but it does work. You have just around 4 weeks until the end of 2018, until 2019 starts. So that is enough time for you to pick a focus area and build a habit. In the workbook, I go through a specific exercise to help you figure out what your focus area should be. And I think that it will be really, really profound if you go through the exercise in the workbook, because what it's going to do is show you all the things that you're trying to do and help you distill down what that one thing should be that you focus on for the next 4 weeks. A couple of examples of focus areas, right? I've seen women focus on getting half their body weight in ounces of water every single day. I've seen women focusing on eating more slowly at every meal. I've seen them focusing on getting a large portion of protein in every single time that they eat. I've seen women focusing on getting 1 to 2 servings of vegetables in at every single meal or snack. It's really individualized because you need to ask yourself what feels doable in this moment. And the best thing about this approach is that it allows you so much more ease. You don't need, if you're focusing on protein, you don't need to be berating yourself for having a glass of wine at your holiday party or 3, as long as you are getting in your protein. If you're focusing on getting in that half your body weight in ounces of water, you don't need to stress too much about having an extra cup of coffee. By doing nutrition in this way, you set yourself up for success. You set yourself up to feel like you are doing something that is helping you. You set yourself up to feel victorious. And what happens when we get something down, we feel victorious, we feel successful, we feel so much more confident. And when we're confident in ourselves, we are able to continue this process and stay more consistent in the long term. If you take one thing away from this video, the whole concept of consistent nutrition is about automating your eating decisions. You want to get to a place where it feels effortless, where there's just ease in making your decisions, but that takes time. And that also takes concerted focus on just one area at a time. When we start trying to focus on too many things, we start getting overwhelmed. We try to do all the things, and that just sets us up to feel defeated. So, to recap, the main consistency kicker that I see for women, especially during the holidays when it comes to nutrition, is overwhelm. You're trying to do everything. You're trying to follow all the best nutrition advice when really you would be better served by focusing on just one thing. If you focus on just one thing from now until New Year's Eve 2018, it will become so effortless for you that you won't even think about it. And then in 2019, we can build on that foundation and help you continue to build out that personalized nutrition blueprint that will help you stay more consistent for the rest of your life, for the rest of 2019, so that you can feel more confident and more empowered with your nutrition, your exercise, and your entire life. Because what I find is that once we get our nutrition down, we kind of calm those voices in our heads and we're able to sincerely focus, we have so much space to do other things. And that is what life is all about. It is not about stressing over food. It is not about thinking about nutrition all the time, because Lord knows that sucks. Instead, it's about finding ease in nutrition so that we fuel our bodies and can take on the rest of what life throws at us. So if you want step-by-step instructions, questions to ask, and mindset exercise to go through, sign up at the link in this video so that you can get access to your workbook. I will be putting all of the finishing touches on it and sending it out at 9 a.m. Pacific. If you have any questions, you will be able to reply to the email with your workbook. I would be happy to get back to you personally, or feel free to bring them to our live training tomorrow. Tomorrow, we are talking about fitness, and I'm really, really excited because it's a really interesting topic. I've also put together some pretty awesome goodies in the workbook, so I'm going to be giving you a sample workout. We're going to be talking all about staying consistent when it comes to your workouts over the holidays. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'm super grateful, and I look forward to hanging out again tomorrow morning. Have a great day.